Right. This is September 13th, 2012. This is Reality Supreme Being, also a presidential candidate for 2012, known as HRM, and listed as HRM Caesar St. Augustine de Buonaparte, Emperor of the United States of Turtle Island, and also have been the symbolic president of the United States since October of 1996. First of all, I wish there was a million things that I could say in response to Obama, Romney, the news media, the slanted news media, the lies that we get told, the controlled media. All my previous recordings, if you go search them out, you'll hear bits and pieces of all of the truth. In this event that has taken place, I think you go back and you search my past videos, you will see that I predicted these events that are going on right now in Egypt and in in all the countries that are rebelling right now, in revolt. And supposedly the news media says that it's because they insulted the Prophet Muhammad because of the film that was put out, a very cheap film that was put on YouTube, according to the media, 2 months ago. And see, this only proves my point that this is how I have been blacklisted by the federal authorities at the highest level, Bilderberg Group, Trilateral Commission. See, a lot of people think that I think that I'm, like I have delusions of grandeur because I would actually think the government would be thinking about somebody as unimportant as me. But that's how they've treated me. So unimportant that they burnt my house, robbed me of all my trucks, boats, cars, motorhomes, interfered in my informal education, interfered in my life at every turn you can possibly think of. I'm not a bad person, nor am I crazy. It's these people that are running these countries that are bad. Now, let's examine what, and I can only touch the tip of the iceberg because I have to make this short again. For instance, the Prince Harry's wife, Kate, only did like a 2.5 to 3 minute speech for her thing that's was heard by the world. Like I said in all my other videos, you'll listen to rock music, country music, whatever your favorite music is, for hours at a time. You'll listen to that, or you'll listen to a Bible prophet or a Bible minister or a priest. You'll listen to them preach hours on end. But you can't hear a 3-minute speech or a 15-minute speech by a presidential candidate. It's boring. Let me tell you what's boring. What's boring is watching the human race be violent for more than 7,000 years. And then having a media with all that technology cue the news, manipulate the news, present it in a slanted, hidden fashion, hiding certain facts from the news. Because the government has to have their hand in on the media because they don't want the media to be saying things that are not politically acceptable, like that movie that supposedly, allegedly set off these big protests and fires and all of that. Now remember what I said about Americans. Anyone who involves themselves as being in concert with American sympathies and American interest are evil. All Americans pay taxes. 75% of their taxes goes to the military, and those 2 ships are going to kill innocent men, women, and children in any of those countries that are rioting with their stupid bombs and their cruise missiles and their super secret OSS teams that they'll send in there. Oh, excuse me, it's not the OSS anymore. That's a strategic overseas strategic services. No, they would change to the CIA. That's right. You know, I'm making a joke of it because I have predicted, and I'm probably the only person, one of the only people that actually has real blueprint solutions for how to stop and circumvent a lot of these violent things that take place. Now, you see what I said about YouTube. They do manipulate things. Because hear that insult to Mohammed supposedly was on YouTube for 2 months. And then finally somebody noticed it because of some interpretation that took place, and all of a sudden all the riots break out. No, I'm smarter than that. That's not why this is happening. What is happening right now is a ruse, another ruse to get the presidential campaign more in gear, to get people so upset that they'll go vote. So here we are, and I've written a little speech here from last night from taking notes from all of the stuff I heard, and this is from news that is biased. So please listen carefully because it is important. And all of my videos explain what I'm about to say because I predicted all of them, and I'm still predicting even more future events because Obama and Romney would not meet me on stage to debate me. That's why these riots are breaking out. No other reason. Because the terrorists are, in fact, listening to me. And they say, down with America. Hey, I'm one of the people that's supporting their view. Yeah, of course. Down with the America you have been putting up with for so many years. With secrets on top of secrets, and Obama saying, Romney shoots first and aims later. And, 1 minute they're in agreement, the next minute they're not. They're both candidates opposing each other. And none of them have their ducks in a row properly, except maybe Obama because he's been cued in. He's been debriefed on all the secret stuff he's not supposed to talk about. So here goes. 6 minutes into my tape, enough with my monologue. This is written. If death and destruction is the only compensation for me that is done by terrorists throughout the world, in this tiny little world we all live in, then so be it. If in fact they are listening to me, and that is causing and motivating them, like Tokyo Rose was motivating the Japanese during World War II, then so be it. Because you people don't deserve anything better. America is evil. The media is evil. They lie to you. They skew the truth. Obama got 3 minutes of some interview that they aired on the news, and Romney gets like 20 seconds. I doubt if he even got 30 seconds. So, if that's the only compensation I'll ever get before I die, then so be it. Because I got nothing to lose. Good. I'm glad the violence is happening. I'm glad Ambassador Stevens was killed. I'm glad all of them are killed. And I mean that. Every bit of it. Because I don't have anything to lose. This American evil society has made me lose everything that I have, and it's making me lose more by the end of the month. So if those actions were motivated by me because they were motivated only by my words, fine. They want to use the excuse of the film, that's fine too, because the film is a flimsy excuse. That was on YouTube for 2 months. How come it took so long? How come I've only had 10,000 views in 3 years? Whereas you guys show a naked woman on YouTube, and boy, you get 1 million views right off the bat within the first few days. No, it shows where the brains are in America. They're not where they should be. So, if that is my only solace before I die, fine. I'd love to watch a lot of embassies totally destroyed. And Obama doesn't deserve to get on the same stage and debate with me because he doesn't have the guts, and no matter how many secret things he knows about, and neither does Romney, and neither does any other presidential candidate, because they are puppets for the rich people's interest. They're puppets of the Bilderberg, puppets of the Trilateral Commission, puppets of the coalition that's being backed by all the rich money interests. So be it. Your country has continually violated my civil rights. It's done to me repeatedly. Many authorities, big and small, in the city of Los Angeles, county, the state of California, the federal authorities, and whoever has directly or indirectly manufactured and directed those repeated violations and tearing my more than 30 years of hard work, young years, and possessions apart. For the feds ignoring my plight and creating and manufactured by your evilly controlled, rich and affluent USA and the rest of the world. If terrorists have seen my videos and they interpret that if Americans can condone hurting, destroying, stealing, and violating their own people, that their own people in a system that they praise in the media and talk big about, then they, terrorists and malcontents, can kill congressmen, congresswomen, ambassadors, senators, media personnel, and anybody else that waves that evil red, white, and blue flag and leaves people like Caesar behind in making false speech statements at Democratic conventions over and over again for decades, like a broken record. That includes the Republicans. And the dumb American infidels fall for it in every election. Then they deserve to be not only annihilated, but a complete genocide, even if it takes generations to complete. Because creatures like that are not good enough, that they are extremely dangerous and have no rights to live whatsoever. Their greed, egos, overflowing money, control, continual control freak behavior passed on from generation to generation must be wiped out. I'm talking about Americans. I'm not talking about the terrorists. They're included in all of this. They all must be vaporized as if they never existed. As I have told many people, my 16 challenges to meet for Romney and Romney and Obama to meet me in debate for the office of president for more than 2 years has been ignored. And as I have repeated and told everyone, for every time I am not answered, there will be very bad things that will happen to your country, America, and I have predicted all of them cryptically, and I repeat, with the help of my special invention system, with my computers and a super secret device, which I call Quantum Chaos Dark Matter Generator, which has proven themselves in all of my more than 300 videos, which I have also embedded predictions and quotes, and still, you the people, the media, and the government don't believe me and ignore me. You kind of make me feel your lack of going viral attention has made me feel like Moses. During the plagues of Egypt, when Pharaoh's heart was unresponsive and cold, even though much suffering was continually felt by the whole of Egypt, and it was not until the Pharaoh's own offspring felt the true hand of death to come calling on every firstborn of Egypt. In my case, it is all representative of this evil empire of hypocrites who call themselves the greatest country in the world. Look at my past videos and compare to the in-between dates where repercussions happened only after I made those cryptic predictions. None of this should be passing you by, because I know that some of you out there are either too frightened to admit and recognize that there are way too many coincidences to ignore that I am in fact predicting these events, and also the crazies are watching and moving forward with their own agenda, risking their own lives to continue to bring America down once and for all. Like in Babylon and Revelations, it's destroyed in one day. You, the whole evil USA government, is wrong and always will be wrong until you surrender unconditionally to me. There can never be any other choice. To go on as you are is not practicing insanity, but successfully achieving insanity. Now, you get what that means? That means that you people love to play around and wallow in a thing called practicing insanity. Well, you've successfully made it, that's for sure. I wrote a little subnote here. Your ambassador and many others in the past did not have to die in these stupid wars if I had been in absolute control as of the year 2000. Secrets would not have been, or not so important, because I've known different. Secrets that probably caused a lot of some of these deaths. There are ways of success to truly protect those that are true to Mother Nature. And that's pretty much what this is all about. As you can see, I wrote this all out kind of like just all in writing, so you'll have to excuse my my tongue stumbling. It's early in the morning here in California at 10, and I'm still depressed because I just went to go look at a place to rent and no one wants to rent to me because there's too much criteria to rent a warehouse to somebody. They want first, last security, they want all this bunch of money, and then they want you to follow their stupid rules. So it's unreasonable what they ask for here in California. And now one person has lifted a finger to help me in 3 years since my house was burnt. So yeah, I'm glad that Ambassador Stevens died. I don't care. I care as much as what I said when I made the statement that I don't care how many people died in the Aurora Theater or any other shooting that takes place here in the United States by somebody who has a break in their functional psychology. You certainly have done enough to me to have broken my psychology. All I have is that bike to ride and dealing with dumb, moronic people like yesterday who don't know the difference between common courtesy and common respect. So no matter what Obama knows secretly, it isn't good enough. And for me to have to be living through this over and over again is just simply wrong. And somebody should have stepped forward long before now, long before I lost all my vehicles, long before I lost all of my goals, long before I was made to lose my goals. Somebody should step forward a long time ago. If they had, can you imagine how different the future would have been? Maybe the Aurora shooting would never have happened. Maybe these violent acts against the embassies would not happen. I have no doubt in my mind that the terrorists haven't seen some of my videos and have actually thought that. You know, if you can do that to your own people and treat a person like Caesar like that and reduce him to nothing and no one offering to at least give him a hand and help him, even leave the country, then you deserve us attacking your embassies in the name of Allah. You deserve us attacking all of your representatives because you're not worth it. Maybe the Libyans finally saw the writing on the wall. And America didn't really help us. They're trying to screw us over. They're trying to turn us into something we're not. Sure, we didn't like Muammar Gaddafi, but we don't like America either. They're just as bad as Gaddafi. He's just the other side of the coin. They're both doing the same thing. They're bully dictators. You have a dual Democratic-Republican dictatorship here run by the Bilderberg Trilateral Commission and the rich money interest, Rockefellers and everybody else. And then you have Gaddafi. What's the difference? None. They both have the same behavioral aspects, just presented so differently that it looks different to everybody. Oh, Gaddafi's a terrible person. Well, maybe he was, but so is America. Look what it's done to me. I want to start this with part 2 in a minute.